several colors which traditionally are associated with Christmas. Usually you see red, green, gold, come on gold, there you go, gold. But why do we have them and what do these colors represent? Most of the colors have a meaning that actually come from the Northern and Western European traditions and customs. When Christmas in the middle of the winter, when it was dark and it was very cold, green or evergreen plants like holly, ivy, mistletoe have been used for thousands of years to decorate and brighten up buildings during this long, dark winter. They also reminded us that spring would come and winter wouldn't last forever. The Romans would exchange evergreen branches and during January as a sign of good luck. The ancient Egyptians used to bring in palm branches to their homes during midwinter festivals. In many parts of Europe during the Middle Ages, paradise plays were performed often on Christmas Eve. They told the Bible stories to people who couldn't read. The paradise tree was from the Garden of Eden in the play, which normally a pine tree with red apples tied to it. Now, the most common use of green at Christmas are Christmas trees. Next color we want to talk about, red. As mentioned before, an early use of red at Christmas time were the apples on the paradise tree. They represented the fall of Adam in the plays. Red is often used as the color of holly berries, which is said to represent the blood of Jesus when he died on the cross. Red is also the color of the bishop's robes. These would have been worn by St. Nicholas, as we now know as Santa Claus, and that's the uniform of Santa Claus. The color of gold is the color of sun and the bright, which is very, very important during the dark winter. And both red and gold are the colors of a fire that you need to keep warm in that cold winter. Gold was also one of the presents that was brought to baby Jesus by one of the wise men. Thank you, wise man.
You are
and
welcome.
Traditionally, it's the color used to show the star that the wise men followed. White. White is often associated with purity and peace in the Western cultures. Jesus was pure in heart and actions and a man of peace. He was often compared to a little white lamb. The snow of winter is also very white. Isn't it beautiful? The white paper wafers were also sometimes used to decorate paradise trees. The wafers actually represented the bread eaten by Christians on communion or at Mass when Christians remember that Jesus died for them. We also use white and gold chrismon ornaments, just like the one that's in our sanctuary. And white is also used in most churches as the color of Christmas when the altar is covered with white cloth. Blue. The color blue is associated with Mary, the mother of Jesus. In medieval times, blue dye and paint was more expensive than gold. It was also worn by royalty families and by very rich people. Mary was so often painted wearing blue to show that she was very important. Blue also represents the color of the sky and heaven. The color purple. Purple is also the color of royalty, and it's also a somber color. It's a color that's used during Lent that asks us to reflect our need for Jesus. That is why we also use the color of purple during the season of Advent, because there's always a time that we should reflect our need for Jesus. Once again, thank you for joining us for another Bee Knows Advent. This Sunday, we are actually going to be handing out an ornament for you to pick up that's going to have all different colors of these ribbon to remind you of what you have heard today. And if you want to know more about what's going on to connect with Advent and Christmas, go to our website at www.jacksonvilleumc.com/Advent. See you next time.